Hello, welcome back to Nikki Does. This is Messy Bench Monday. Lots of little projects going on today. This was a tantalum capacitor from an IBM, original IBM EGA card from an IBM PC, the XT, PC XT. That's the one that has the built-in, now hold on to your chair for this, 10 megabyte hard drive. And these little tantalums fail quite often, and they present nearly zero resistance, dead short across the power rails. So pretty easy fix, pretty quick to find, and yeah, that solved that. And I just paired up a couple of, that was a 22 microfarad. I paired up a couple of 10 microfarad tantalums that I had and soldered them together. That's not why you came here. Why you came here was ostensibly to hear about this battery tester, capacity tester, and charger doohickey, which I thought about doing a repair video. When I got it, it didn't work. And what I found was a terrible soldering job here. You can probably see a teeny bit of remnant where the excessive heat of the soldering iron melted a little bit of the display there. If I did a zoomy zoom, you'd probably maybe see that better. Teeny bit of melt. But yeah, right in here, that switch was notably up, and this contact was not soldered at all. And I'm assuming this is, anyway, not being connected made it not work, which is, a bummer. Means they did absolutely zero testing on this when it left the factory of 6-year-old females who assemble them somewhere in China. But I mean, what do you expect? It's super dirt cheap. Here it is, by the way. It is this, I think it was a little more than $6.54 because I chose the 2-channel B model. There it is, $8.67, 9% off with free shipping if you buy more than $10 worth of crap from AliExpress, which I did. Yeah, and you can see here, they're going to tell you this is the 2-channel B model. 2-channel capacity and internal resistance. I believe it's going to do a charge-discharge cycle. I don't know that it supports 9, but I'll double check. The channels are independent, and it does seem that way. The battery clip is very strong. These 18650s, I had to push them in there with quite a bit of force. And it does come with this lever, there's a picture of it. There it is. Comes with a little lever to lever the batteries out of there. Let's get back down to where I'm supposed to be. 2-channel B model. 5 volts DC supply. You can set the discharge stop voltage between 2.5 to 3.5 volts. And I don't know what this means. Start at approximately 14.2 volts of batteries are applicable. I think it stops charging at 4.2, but I'm not positive about that. Type C, Chinglish choice. Internal resistance measurement, no LiPo batteries. I think this is kind of like a double. Status alert support. I don't know that it has a beeper in it. I don't think it does. I didn't see one. Stop discharge, and they listed 2.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3. That's quite incredible. 2.5 to 3.5 inclusive, and that you can figure out. You could write a little Python script to figure out that that's 11 different steps. Discharge current maximum about 1 amp, non-constant current, non-adjustable, does not support independent transformation. Really what it is, it's dumping across the power resistor, and we'll see that here. Power failure save, only save the setup parameters, do not save the measurement. So don't let that happen. Then they go through the instructions. It's got 4 keys marked in English and Chinese. It's pretty simple, and we'll go through there. And to zero it, you just take the power off. So there's no retention of any kind of parameters whatsoever. Let's get back to it and see what we actually have here. All right. So let's zoom back out here. I think we already are. When I powered this up, it did not work, as I mentioned, so I had to do a little repair to it. USB-C, all the good stuff is USB-C these days. Let's do that again. I think it was version 5.4. Welcome, 5.6. And there you go. So two 18650s, LG, I believe. I mean, they start with LG, so I don't know what they are. But anyway, 18650s. Their current reading 4.04 volts. I'm on channel 2. This is the channel select button over here. This is the menu button, and you'll see it switches between discharge, stop voltage, and number of times you loop. And I want to see if it goes up to 9 times. I don't think, oh, it does. I thought it went up to 5. Okay. So you can loop it up to 9 times. You can charge, discharge, charge, discharge. The bad news is you don't get any data output as far as I can tell, and I really don't think that's the case because there doesn't seem to be enough lines going from the microprocessor, which by the way is unmarked, so we could take this apart, up to here. There is a power resistor under the fan. You can see the green power resistor under there. There's one for channel 1 on one side and one for channel 2 on the other side. And the other two windows of the fan are just left to blow air around. So let's go through here. You've got, as I say, menu mode can be discharge, automatic, charge. Those are the 3 options there. The stop, you saw the 11, count them 11 different stop voltages. That's on discharge. And then the loop counter, and that's really it. So those 3 choices. I'm going to go to auto, and channel 1 is currently set to stop at 3 volts, and channel 2, for whatever reason, because I was playing around, I guess it does store the parameters, so disregard that. Channel 2 is 3.4 volts. So if I want to change that, I can come here and say, there's my 3 volts, auto. So now channel 1 and channel 2 are the same, 4.04 volts in channel 2 and 4.03 in channel 1. So this says RS for run stop, this says S for select, this is M for menu, and this is CHN for channel, or Chinoe. It's a new made-up word. So let's start stop it. The fan begins to spin. The LED is flashing red. Let's go over here to channel 2. That is currently stopped. Let's start it. Flashing red also. So now they're both flashing red. It looks like the flash subroutine is 1 for both. So it doesn't matter when you start and stop it. Yeah. A vibrant pixelated display with a simulated font on it. Yeah. So then over here we've got the current volts and the current amps being drawn, which are approximately the same for channel 1 and 2. The milliamp hours that have been discharged, I believe, thus far, although maybe not. And I assume MR is the resistance, but why it's not ohms, maybe they didn't have the symbol in there, and why it's milli resistance, it shouldn't be 32 milliohms, I don't believe, although I'm not a battery genius. And then there's a stopwatch for measuring your lap times when you run around the track. 1 minute and 7 seconds. So I'm not real sure how the data is going to show up here unless I sit in front of this thing diligently, because I didn't see any data switching around. So I'm kind of curious how this is going to work out. I guess for $9 it was worth checking out to see how it's going to work. That looks like a programming header over here. Where will I get the firmware update? Inside there are a couple MOSFETs up here, and some sort of little processor. They actually did put a reverse polarity diode up here, so I got to give them credit for that. There is an ability to power it with external non-USB charging 5 volts and ground, so you'd have to solder on your own little leads to there and probably zip tie or glue them on somewhere so they don't end up just falling off. The resistors are getting warm. I did feel them. And if I stop the fan, which has no tack, let's see if I can burn my finger on this one. Well, I thought I felt before that it was quite warm, but I'm not feeling that one being very warm. Oh, it says charge, that's why. Mode auto, I guess it's going to charge first. So why isn't it counting the milliamp hours that it's putting into this? I don't know. Well, since I did this video, let's just go through, let's stop it, and I'll show some things I did earlier anyway. The fan stops immediately, by the way, when you turn it off. It doesn't sort of cool down or anything. So let's go to mode discharge on channel 1. And just to show that you can do it, let's go channel 2. We'll change that to charge. So now let's start channel 2, and we'll start channel 1. And now it's starting to count. Channel 1 is counting its discharge milliwatt hours and the milliamp hours. And channel 2 is counting that also. Now notice it doesn't have a negative in front of it or anything, so you have to pay a little bit of attention whether you're charging or discharging. I don't think any of us want to sit here and watch this thing till the end, so I think I'm going to leave it at this, and maybe I'll put something in the comments to let you know how it went. If everybody's interested in how this thing works, and it truly is interesting, I will do a much more in-depth video, but I thought this is probably enough for such a cheap kind of thing. So anyway, hope it was useful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.